Okay. So we'll give people a few minutes to roll in. Let me make sure I have the right. There we go. Okay. So let's just take a moment and land in this room. Call yourself back to this moment. What percentage of you do you think is here? You know, on a computer, you have the things that are taking up memory, active programs that you're working with, and those are the things you're aware of. When I say call yourself back to this moment, those are the things you can quickly just let go of. You know, the aspects of your day that are still kind of playing out and making decisions, planning for tomorrow. But then on a computer, there are those other things that are just kind of quietly working in the background that you don't even know it. Some program that you downloaded a long time ago that's just slowing your computer down and you don't even realize it because it's just surveilling things in the background. You've got that too going on. You have things from your ancient past that are affecting what percentage of you is capable of being present in this moment. And working those things out, there's no simple fix to them. They get rooted out slowly over time, mostly as they resurface in the present. Those things that you just barely even know are creating the lens through which you're viewing your life. Other people look at you and they can see it, but when you look at yourself, you can't see it because it's the lens through which you're looking. And it comes from past lessons, past traumas, moments of great feeling that made a deep impression in your psyche. And some of them come even as these spiritual scars from past lives. But they all sit below the level of your consciousness. Some teachers believe in going back and processing those things. My teacher, my main teachers, did not. And the reason that they didn't was because those things will eventually surface as a present moment reflection of what you hold at the core of your being. Who we are, what we are, is always projecting through that filter. And so because of that, just like if, you're a movie theater projector and you're projecting through film, because there's that filter of the film there, it's going to put a story onto the screen of the theater. And so you don't have to go to the past to deal with the past. The past is always manifesting as the present. And if you really deal with the present, then you can actually have the past just sort of untangle itself. I don't know that that's the right or wrong way to do it. I think that there is some value to understanding the repeated patterns that happen in our lives and how they're contributing to this moment. But I do think that showing up for this moment and actually registering that there's a part of you that isn't present, and just from the depths of your being, leaving a little bit of a door open for the question, that part of me that isn't present, where is that part of me? Those are the kinds of questions you can only ask when you're really doing the work. When the part of you that you can manage is managed. When you're not indulging in planning your next meal during your meditation, or complaining to yourself about a coworker, or dealing with some difficulty in your marriage or what have you. When those little pieces that you can actually see because they're on the surface are cleared away, and what's left is kind of a stillness and a quiet in that arena, that's when you can really open yourself and say, what's the part I can't see? That part of me that's not here, where is it? What is it looking at? When you've done your part, there's power in that. It's like it gives you a permission slip to start getting glimpses of what's under the surface of your consciousness. And when you do that, generally what will happen is you'll just be given little threads you can pull, little flashes of images. And when you really start dealing with the stuff that's underneath the surface in this lifetime, when you start to find that you process things around you differently because a lot of those hang-ups you have from your childhood are not getting at you in the same way as they used to, then the flashes that start to come will come from past lives. And you'll actually begin to just catch images of very familiar scenes, but scenes that have nothing to do with the current life you're living, except that their emotional patterns, their psycho-emotional patterns are repeating. There's a reason you come to classes like this. And there are images from your past attached to that actually usher you towards classes like this, that pull you to a teacher like me versus another teacher. Certain qualities that you've come to look for, certain qualities to avoid. It'll even start showing itself to you in your dreams. That's where you can see more than a little flash. You'll find yourself in a world that you know intimately. Maybe you'll just be in one room of a house, but in the dream you know what's in every other room of the house, and you have a vast network of people that you're aware of, and then you'll wake up. And you'll realize that that giant cohesive storyline is not part of this lifetime. That's the power of dusting off this moment. That's the power of dealing with the things you're able to deal with. It doesn't yield itself easily. You have to be ready and waiting for those fragments to come forward. But even one glimpse carries so much information, especially if you don't try and turn it into a linear storyline. If you just let it be what it is, it tells you so much. So tonight we're going to go into meditation. But I want you not to indulge yourself. Deal with the things you can deal with. When the mind comes up to tell you that you have to be thinking about this thing that happened this week, or figuring out how you're going to deal with something tomorrow, or processing some fancy that you have, really shift from it. Shift back to the breath over and over again. And do that until it stops pulling on you. Do that until that wired pattern in your brain has stopped firing. And then just be in that open space of possibilities. And from that open space of possibilities, just notice, what percentage present am I? How present am I? And if it's not 100%, and it won't be, where is that other percent? If it's 70%, where is that 30%? It's just a quiet curiosity that'll get things to just splash up onto the surface of the water. Don't turn it into an intellectual pursuit. Don't tell a story about it. Just notice. Just noticing that the 30% isn't there and wondering what it's occupied with. And then staying open and seeing what starts flashing onto the screen of the mind. And when that flashes onto the screen of the mind, don't play with it. Just watch it. Don't draw a conclusion from it. Whenever you draw a conclusion from something, you just put the lid on the jar and nothing can breathe. You just end it. Instead, just let it be what it is. And just watch it, hear it, feel it. So we're going to go into meditation, and that's what I'd like us to do tonight. Are there any questions about that before I move on? All right, let's do it. Attention at the forehead and crown. Let your eyes fall to a spot on the floor in front of you. And then you're going to give yourself to your breath. As you breathe in, you are right there with that inhale. As you breathe out, you are riding that exhale. And you're going to watch it so completely that you become hyper aware of that shift between the inhale and the exhale, and between the exhale and the inhale. That gap of nothing space that exists in between the breath. And when the mind comes in to take you away, you're just not going to play with it. You're just going to re-engage with the breath. Return to the breath. Return to the breath. Return to the breath. And just be with the simplicity of that. As you're starting, get a sense of what percent present are you? Yield your day to this moment. Tend only to the breath in this moment. That's less of a pulling towards and more of a releasing from. Slow yourself down. Find that place where time stops. These stories, your sense of time, it's all like a suit of clothing that you wear in order to interact with illusion. Just take it off. It was never real. To take off time, slow yourself down to the stopping point. Take off the stories. Simply stop looking at them and be in this eternal moment. And now you have to make this your home. Just let this be enough. That gets you right through the door. And now that you've done what you can do, what percentage of you is present? Just get a feel for it. Nothing to analyze. Just asking the question highlights the part of you on a spectrum of present in this moment to dealing with some other moment. A pole that goes from the clear sky deep into the murky water. What percentage of you is present? Nothing to think about. But can you feel how, even with the silence that you've magnified with your attention, there is a backdrop of movement, activity that you just can't quite grasp? Can you just be aware of it? Can only do this if you've done what we've asked you to do. Without thought. Just wonder what it's on about. What is it facing? What is it looking at? Just a quiet curiosity as you breathe in this moment. A delicate moment to ride. Curiosity without intellect. And just see what arises. Might take some time. You have eternity. Don't worry about understanding it. then start to notice specific restrictions inside of you. Tightened heart, tightened gut. A wordless curiosity about that can open that up. As you breathe in this moment, if you lose your focus, return to your breath. If you're getting lost in your past, return to your breath. ask yourself, what is the value in seeing this? Because you need to figure out what it is you need to thread forward from the unconscious into your conscious life. You don't have to nail it today. This practice is always available to you. But if you just leave it back there, you're going to forget it. You're going to think it's not relevant, and yet it is filtering everything you see. Perhaps what you saw today was not clear, and that's okay. But open a door to receive information about what you need to thread forward, if anything. And with that realization, if you have it, slowly come back with it to this storyline. And then the best thing you can do is journal about it. Get it written in this world. Write about what it felt like. Write about how you think it manifests in this story. Ground it in this story. If it's a behavior pattern, for example, for me, there was a feeling around my heart that I tapped on with curiosity. And it took me to early in my training, actually, in this life, where I was using a tremendous amount of will to really focus on my spiritual life. And it was what was expected of me. It was what my teacher expected of me. But it's a rigidity that no longer makes sense in the context of my current life. But it's there, nonetheless, making my heart less flexible. Sometimes you take on an artificial filter under the guidance of somebody so that you can quickly rearrange other parts of your life or quickly rearrange the rest of your filter. Most spiritual paths have a phase like that. But then when the goal is reached, you have to let go of some of the artificial filters. And that was one that I was hanging on to. I've been intense for a long time. So you thread that forward and you become aware of it in this storyline. And you can question it. Is this still serving me? Is this what I'm meant to do? What evidence do I have that this is what I'm meant to do? Is there any evidence that I don't need to keep carrying this? You can journal about it. If it's meant to be there, are there better ways to live it out or better ways to balance it? And it'll change that feeling. But then whatever feeling is still there, you can tap on that too. And go back and capture more nuances. This is a powerful, deep tool for self-transformation. If it weren't, there'd be more people present in the class tonight. This is something not everybody's probably ready to work with. Some people will hear it and it'll just go right past them. But if you pick it up and really do it, there's unbelievable potential for self-discovery and self-transformation. And it can follow a really natural path. Are there any questions about that before we end for the night? Okay. So next week is Christmas on Thursday. I'm still going to be here because I'm always here. It'll probably be a shorter class. But yeah, I will be here same time on that Thursday night. All right. Have a good night, and I will see you soon.